of the movie Night, and you want to go around and I guess Robert, you want to start out what you did on the film and everything, and
Okay, yeah, my name is Robert Asensio. Well, I wrote Night. I did a lot on it. I wrote it, directed it. I'm the DP, director of photography. I was the editor. And yeah, colorist, poster design. I kind of just
did it all.
yeah did it all. But yeah, that's me, Chris.
Chris.
Yeah. My name is Chris, and yeah, on the film, I played kind of Gabby's like apparition, the person that won't really leave her until she came at peace with whatever she needed to come at peace with. So that was my role.
He also was a boom. He also was a boom operator.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. I
The
did do
boom
some of that
operator.
too.
Yeah. Because I was also in the film, and he did the boom operator for me
That's
while
true.
I was acting. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I just did a film with like just basically two other like the same thing like crew of two people and like three actors and just rotated or two actors and just rotated it. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. It's fun.
It is. That's kind of what we did as well. I mean, I also had another assistant camera operator. He was Kevin Izquierdo, and he also did boom operating too. So he helped out a lot. But it was like that. We were rotating. We were just working as a team.
When did you do this before the all the pandemic? You filmed it
Yeah,
before?
I did it like
Right before.
it was like January, and then I remember, and then I edited, and then all this happened. So it was kind of a trip, like looking back at the film and realizing about what I wrote about and tried to explore in terms of the film, which was loss. A lot of the film is basically about loss, basically about how to get through it, and still sort of keep a person's memory alive in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
The film, that's kind of what I wanted to explore, sort of how not to push away the people you lose, because sometimes we tend to, when someone passes, like with me, when I wrote this film, I was just thinking about everyone in my life that passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying to myself, sometimes it hurts so much you don't want to think about them. You don't want to hear anything that they used to listen to. You don't want to see anything that they used to wear. But then I started thinking to myself, like, in the film, there's this chain that Gabriel gives to Christy, and that symbol of something that's left behind that they cared for so much sort of still lives in this world. And so if you kind of not put that in a drawer, maybe what that chain has, that energy will still kind of the spirit of the person you lost still live within you, and sort of like what Chris was saying, it's like Gabriel visits her in a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, I started thinking about the fact that if you keep all these things that they love, this energy, maybe you keeping them in there in your DNA, because they're part of your DNA, and not put them away, maybe they can actually visit you in your dreams. If you really kind of nurture their memory and keep watering their memory to keep them alive, maybe like they'll come out in these weird moments in your life, like maybe in a laugh, maybe in this and in your dreams. So that's kind of what I wanted to explore with the film in terms of loss.
And it's ironic then, like right after was all this craziness, right? And a lot of people experienced a lot of it. Yeah. So wow. And then were you able to get it into a live film festival beforehand, or not really?
No, this is actually gonna be our first in person.
Like, I've seen it before at Fest, but online. I watched it online. So
yeah, this was the first one, because I was gonna put it into the festivals, but it was kind of a downer, because I wanted to go there.
Yeah.
But then I said, you know what, I might as well, and then it got selected to a bunch of stuff, and it's pretty cool. But this one, I'm excited to finally kind of be in that environment.
I was over the weekend or not weekend, the 2 days, for the last 2 days, I was projector guy at a film festival, and I loved every minute of it. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're back.
Yeah. So that's exciting. I mean, similar to when we're filming on set and everything, like just seeing the energy of everyone loving what they're doing. I mean, because a lot of it, it's passion. We filmmakers, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So, you gotta love it. So it's a lot of work, but it's so much fun. So I'm excited that we get to finally go see it and be around the energy of other filmmakers too.
Where did you guys film it? Was it locally at like Jersey City area, or?
It was in Brick, New Jersey.
Oh, Brick. Well, that's closer to me.
Yeah. It was there. I don't know the exact location, but I know Gabby, she, luckily for us, she has a house over there, and she let us use that location. It was by the shore. I'm not too sure about that area, but in the last shot of the film, you see the whole ocean and everything. But yeah, it was a nice place. It was, everything was shot in the house, and then we just went down the street and we had that last shot for the final shot. Sure. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Chris, how did you your character and everything? How did you prepare, or you just kind of went right into it, or?
Well, working with Rob, it's always like building like a puzzle. You know what I mean? So it's like, even if you work on something before, once you get into the space, it's always going to have another layer or another thing that you get to find and add onto it. And really, when we were all working on it together, it was like everybody's kind of part was like just like we all collabed. So when we were there in the space, we found new things and we found different ways to attack certain scenes. And so I did a little preparation before, of course, with the script and the in-text kind of context. But mostly when we got there and we were in the space and we were in the moment, that's when I think the character really like came to be.
And you guys worked together before?
Yeah. We actually all we all graduated from Kane University at Union over here in Union, New Jersey. We're all part of the theater program, and we kind of got together, kept in touch. We can't, we're always close, and we kind of, I took it upon myself to say, wow, we have such great actors. I'm an actor too in the film.
Yeah.
I said to myself, man, I wanna shoot something and try to make something with my friends. So it was like kind of worked out, and we all helped each other out. She had the location, I had the camera, Chris got talent, we had everything, man. So everything, we just kind of got together and just made it happen.
I love doing that. It's great when you get to do that, especially and get to work together like over and over.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to continue. We're working on another one now. I'm working on another one, and hopefully with this one, it can. I can even see where it goes. Because I did a lot of closet films before this. Mm-hmm. I was an actor, and then I decided, I want to make some films. Yeah. Try to get some video reels so I could get some acting work too. But I made a lot of closet films, and then this one was kind of the culmination of all the knowledge that I gained from filmmaking, and also working on other projects as an actor as well. And now it's I feel more confident. Hopefully, the next one will be even better than this one.
Yeah, because I saw it at other fests, like I said, and it's been nominated. Them and it's doing well. It's got some good legs to this film.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. Yeah, it's been a good it's been a good run so far. Like I said, hopefully hopefully we can actually go to the festivals, and be there, because it's been a lot of virtual screenings, but it's been fun too, because we've been having met some filmmakers on Zoom and had some conversations, and it's been good.
That's kind of how we started this. Like during the COVID, we're like, oh, we'll interview people online and something extra to do, and now we just keep doing it. So it's pretty cool. I interviewed. There's a lot of filmmakers, but I probably did about 30 interviews or so. So around there, maybe a little less, but around that. But it's a lot of fun, and then we have it and post it up. So now people can like watch these beforehand and like, oh, I got to go see your movie.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. I got addicted to doing this, and I was just and people from like LA that like don't sometimes come out here. They're like talking to me all the time, so
Cool.
it's pretty cool. I'm like, you got to come out, here. So we might get some people from from out west that flying in because he can now. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, you have any other festivals coming up pretty soon?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. I mean, I just was just trying to, put them out as best to as much festivals as I could. I mean, one of my biggest inspirations for that was this actor, director, and filmmaker also called Mark Duplass and the Duplass brothers. They do a bunch of films. I saw an interview with him in South by Southwest.
Oh, wow, yeah.
He talked about making a $3 film. He submitted it to. He made like a $10,000 film, and it didn't really get selected anywhere. He ended up making a $3 film with his brother, kind of going back to when there were kids having fun with the camera, and not the technical aspects of it. But that ended up, shooting off shooting off and making a name for himself and his brother. But it was similar to this. It was one of those things where I said to myself, I had a camera, I had all this stuff. It was very low budget, probably budget of $300. And I just kind of said, you know what, I want to just make something, have fun with my friends.
Yeah.
And surprising to me,
they came out really well, right?
It kind of just took off. It just took off, and I was just kind of surprised. It kind of took me in a little loop because I didn't have all the stuff I needed, but I had good people and people who were passionate, and I think that kind of Chris knows while we were working, we were having Chris knows we were having a good time. Oh my God!
Yeah.
We were laughing. Even though the subject matter was, a little
dark and
a little dark,
little sad.
We were having a blast. It was such a good time, and it kind of went by. We definitely had our moments where, like Chris said, I'll let him talk about it. But like, if Chris, I know you remember the last scene when under the light with you and Gabby, we had like one more take. It was really late, and I said, "This take, you guys gotta." I want you to talk a little bit about that scene, if you can.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So when we were acting that last scene, we were trying to get it, but we just couldn't really groove into it as much. It was all right, but it wasn't like it. You know what I mean? What we were looking for, and then we kind of all like came up with a thing where it's just like, all right, like let's just, all right, we know the lines, we know the blocking, but let's just say it like if you're really having a conversation. Let's say it like if you're, really in this moment. And we were just like we just like loosened up and we're like, just have fun with it. Really, like this is like the last take of the night. We did some previous takes, so have fun with this one, and we'll see which one's the best. And so, me and Gabby, we were like, okay. And so we just kind of had we kind of just really we're really loose and really conversational. And turns out that was the take that was used in the actual film. And, because it was so emotional and it was just so real. And I know Rob, he always says this. He always like, when I recorded that scene, man, I was like,
it felt real.
Oh,
it felt real. Like I wanted to look outside the camera to see you guys. And I was like, wow, like that was crazy. Like we just made a moment, and you know what I mean? And it was kind of like surreal, and it was really amazing.
Yeah, though that moment was kind of like the last moment. I remember we had that last moment that was like before the pandemic, and we had that moment. And that moment kind of like, for me, like I told Gabby and Chris, that moment kind of like kept me in it a little bit, because the pandemic kind of put things down, and a lot of people changed, professions, and a lot of it went other ways. And that, I remember that specific moment, and it kind of lingered throughout the pandemic for me, because it was kind of like, they knew the lines, and there was just this moment where it just felt so like I felt like I wasn't even holding the camera while I was filming. Wow. I felt like I was just like we were just there, and it was just to get to that moment in that scene. It was just the place where I tell Gabby and Chris where it's like, oh man, I just want to live there. As a filmmaker and as an artist, just lived in that kind of euphoric place of possibility. It was just it felt like nothing could go wrong. Whatever they did, everything was just going right. It was just, it was just so good.
Yes. And then again, like you said, with a good script and good acting, who cares about the camera or whatever it is, just that it carries the film and makes it so well,
to your point, that's kind of like something that I've been like thinking about a lot in terms of like, the energy of the set and just the overall understanding of the script and everyone just kind of being connected. It seems like whatever the camera does and captures, whatever it's pointing at, if it's real, it kind of elevates it. Even if the angle is a little, it seems like if it's real on the other side, whatever it's being captured, it's gonna hit someone's, heart.
Yeah, like you said, like $300. You don't need to spend $10,000 to come across with everything and show it if you have the right.
So that is a great conversation to have. That's the great conversation to have. Something that I always think about in terms of filmmaking, and especially like with documentarian filmmaking, how they can get to you with such handheld, and it's just it's so interesting. Instead of cutting away and all this stuff, it's that other aspect of filmmaking where it's like the scene, real life, pretending like the camera doesn't even exist. It's just us here, and we're just trying to express ourselves truthfully.
I do like if I'm making a film, like you said, like instead of looking at a monitor and you just watch them. It's a cool.
Yes, and that's really exactly what happened in that scene with Chris. I caught myself kind of like in a daze, and I kind of put the camera right here, and I was just looking.
Just let it go.
I just let it go. I just wanted to have that moment for myself, and I don't know. That's an interesting thing. You want to capture the beautiful picture, but at the same time, you want to experience the beautiful picture without the camera being there. Yeah. It's a weird thing because those moments don't come so often. So when I was filming them, I said, "Oh man, I want to be technical and say, oh, I need this shot because I need to edit it in." But at the same time, as a human being, as an artist, I want to kind of like throw the camera and just stare and just be in it with them instead of, being so like, with technical. So it's interesting, those moments, what you have to choose. It's a balance, I think, because I was looking at the monitor, but at the same time, I was like, had moments where I was like, okay, let me just stare.
And if I could add, I want to add to that. One of the great things about working with Rob, directing, is that he really emphasizes, play in a sense where, playing is what gets you where you got to go. Like there's some directors who are very rigid, and it's like it's got to be by the book. It's got to be word for word. It's got to be, like you got to know the lines and you got to do it the way the director wants it to be done. But to work with Rob, it's like we get to a place where we know everything so well. He's like, all right, now play. And it's like, okay. And then, that's kind of the point where like we got to where we got because we were just allowed to like play in the scene and be real,
Yeah, because there's moments in that scene, like I said with Chris, in that last scene, the last take that I did, where I told Chris to let it go, because before that I think we did like 6 takes, and I feel like for me, like as a director, my scripts are like a map because I'm also a writer, so I want them to know what the game is from beginning to end. So I give them that moment for the takes for them to figure that out. But then there comes a point where they know when someone's gonna throw the ball, so they can kind of just play because they know the structure. You know, one of the things I love, this a teacher once told me, she said, from structure comes freedom. So I kind of like to build that structure, but then allow them, once they know the game and the rules and they know the scene, you know, feel it for yourself. Bring yourself to the script and personalize it to you, because I think, like, from a documentarian point of view, I want them to have to not, you know, act the lines, but I want them to make the lines their own the words. So sort of that's kind of like, and also the safe space, like Chris was talking about. I want them. David Lynch, I love David Lynch. He talks about this a lot. He says to create a safe environment for the actors so they can basically sort of be naked, so all possibilities can happen. So I always tend to make sure they're safe, make sure, if you know they're hungry, are they good? I want them to be completely 100% happy, good, anything they need to tell me, just so I want them to always be free to explore anything. There's no wrong thing to do. Try it, because it just takes one button to press record and one button to press unrecord. So I just keep trying things so I can explore it in the editing room. Because sometimes, you know, in the editing room, I'm thinking the film is going to be one way, and then Chris did one thing in the film. He changed the word, or he did something, and I'm like, this is the scene. This is the scene. What he just did is the scene. I thought it was this. I thought I knew what the scene was until he did this. And because of the freedom that I try to give to my actors, you know, they help me figure out what really the film is, and give it a little bit more heart. And they personalize it for me, and then I personalize it in the editing room. Yeah.
If so, since you have an acting background, I guess, do you consider yourself, like, when you're directing, more of how would I say this? Working with actors better? Is it easier for you to like express what you want with the actors because you're an actor yourself, instead of just, like, say you're going to just become a director and you're not really an actor? Does it really help to be an actor and do it as well? That's what I was trying to get. That was the question I was trying to get across.
Yes, absolutely. I'm in my heart, in my heart's hearts, I'm an actor first. And I know what an actor needs to prepare, and I know how vulnerable and safe an actor needs to be in order to work and express themselves, like, truthfully. Because I've been there where, you know, you don't feel like you're welcome at the table, or you don't feel like you're a part of the family. And I've noticed that, you know, similar to children when they're playing, you know, you want everyone to be happy together and be smiling and be loose. I think relaxation is the most important thing for an actor. I think you don't, you know, to be tense is to be unwilling to relinquish emotion or vulnerability. You're holding yourself. So if you're angry in the scene, you're tense, I mean, you got to be loose so all these emotions can come out. And so all these jewels, and for acting, as an actor, like director, I try to make sure, like, to really tell them that whatever they do, it's okay. I want you to play, have fun. We're gonna do first take, second take, third take, fourth take. We're probably gonna get to where we want to get to in the sixth or seventh. But from the beginning, I want them to play. I don't want them to be all tense up, because I want to get to that place faster so we can see what comes out. So, I mean, for me, I try to just make sure that they're safe and and they're just laid on the map for them to express themselves, like, honestly, and be themselves. I honestly really just want them to be themselves, because I try to make sure that they get themselves, their truth across, like Chris says, that their truth across in these characters. Because as much as they're my characters, they're their characters too, and I want to give them the ownership of these characters. I don't want to own them myself. I want them to own these characters, and I just want to be there and help them. try to understand these characters, but together, so we can get there together, and not just not just by myself. I don't want that selfishness for these characters. I want them to kind of own them themselves.
Chris, how during COVID times, how is it trying to audition for roles, or did you have to do a lot of self tapes, or is that what you do now? Is like online mostly?
During COVID, I did a few Zoom plays.
Cool.
Luckily, I had some Black theater groups that were doing some Zoom plays. I had some school stuff doing some Zoom plays. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I hated it. I don't know. I guess maybe I didn't do enough, but I just never got used to Zoom plays because my house is a terrible place to record. The Wi-Fi is spotty at times, and my parents are kind of up in age, so they're always being rickety and old and yelling, and and so I was just like, I can't wait to go back and on person and really express myself on stage. But that's the majority of the stuff. I've been trying to record some self tapes here and there, but mostly it's just been a pain.
Is stage coming back now? Because I know that was like the longest way, right, for stage. Is it starting to come back? Because the film started to come back, but stage, I think they're still holding off a little bit.
Little by little. I thank God I just booked this show I'm in right now that is going to be a live performance. It's a kind of avant-garde guerrilla type of show, so we're going to be doing it like on a porch in a parking lot, like really like theater type of thing. But it's going to be live, and I'm excited to be live anywhere right now.
That's awesome. What about you, Robert? Are you doing any acting or writing, or did you write during the pandemic for the next films?
Yes. I mean, I've been doing a lot of acting too, a lot of acting films, because that was like kind of the only thing that was up. I did a couple features here and there. This month specifically is very busy, and also a bunch of Zoom stuff, bunch of Zoom plays, bunch of Zoom readings. I'm also like Chris. I'm also in a play now. It's kind of starting to pop up. I mean, right now, I believe Broadway's supposed to open
soon, right?
September. Right now, it's like 30% capacity, but in September they say it's full capacity. But we'll see. We'll see. But me and Chris are doing something. Hopefully in September, October. I think right now it's still in the air, but me and him, for some strange reason, we got cast in a play together, which is very strange.
That's cool. Yeah.
But hopefully, it was the first time because we went to school together. We never got to. We were in one play together. We never got to really act together on stage. But hopefully, we got like a little scene in this one. So it would be pretty cool to finally act with the homies. So I'm excited for that one. But writing too. Like there was nothing really else to do but to write. So I've been writing my next film, which hopefully I'll be shooting next month and hopefully September. And Chris is in it, and I got got some more of the crew from who I went to school with in it as well. Wow. So hopefully it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I think that's great that from a lot of people from your school and still kind of working together and kind of expanding, and that's pretty cool. That's awesome. And so you got all that going on. You guys want to promote anything or we could watch any you probably can't watch Night right now since it's in the festivals, but like anything else that you guys did that maybe you could watch online or some websites or Instagrams or anything?
Well, for me, first, let me just, I got to shout out the composer, my brother who composes the music in the film, Heriberto Asensio. My fam was a producers on this, Rigo Asensio, Malaysia Ortiz at Heriberto Asensio. Also, my assistant camera operator, Kevin Izquierdo, and he was a boom operator as well. But in terms of to find me, you can check out my website, robertasensioartist.com, Instagram, Robert Asensio, IMDb, Robert Asensio. We got some stuff coming out. Hopefully, in the next coming months, we're shooting a new film. It's called In a Time of this aspect of I'm very interested in the spiritual laws and the others, the world beyond. So it's going to be a kind of continuation of me exploring this subject matter, and hopefully maybe I'll do we're working on a little sequel too, kind of like since we had so much fun and there's so much left to talk about with Night, we're kind of working on a little sequel. So yeah.
What about you, Chris?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Chris Grant Rants. That's my name because I have a podcast on Spotify called Chris Grant Rants. So yeah, you can find me on those two places. I have a website, chrisgrantacting.com. And yeah, those are the places you can find me. And yeah, of course, and I'll be working with Rob. One thing about Rob is if you know like people like Adam Sandler or Dave Chappelle, it's like or Lin-Manuel, it's like wherever you see them, you're gonna see the people that they love and respect and always work with. So you know what I mean? We're always gonna be helping each other. I'm gonna be helping him. He's gonna be helping me. We're all gonna be helping each other. And that's how we rock, man. We're homies, man.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Well, yeah. Well, thanks for joining me for a little while today here, and I'll get this up, pretty soon.
Cool.
So thank you. Going. Yeah. And anything else you want to add before we go?
Nah, I mean, I'll see you over there. Yeah.
I'm excited. Yeah, it's going to be August 1st. We have on the 31st, we have the student films. We got so many high school and college sets, so it's going to be on a Saturday, 31st, and then Sunday, go through all the films, and then have a little award show, and then everyone will be partying after. It's a good place to meet people in the industry and have fun, and there's a bar right there, and people get along, and usually people end up working together and coming back with a film. So that's why it's just a fun fest.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
Thanks.
Cool.
Great.